Right. So have a look at this. So these are the various identities so of regular expressions. See, all these are something like formulas. So where you have already studied in your DLD Boolean algebra. So like that only it will be. So we can't do anything. So here we don't have any theoretical proofs and all these things. We don't have any theorems also. So simply in a nutshell, what I want to tell you is please try to remember all these formulas. So something like when you take the closure of some empty language, it will result in epsilon, which is the empty string. In the same manner, the closure of empty string is going to be the same empty string itself. And then we have r star is equal to r star r. So this r can be anything. Please try to understand. This r refers to the regular expression. That regular expression can be a simple expression or it can be a complicated expression, whatever it may be. Okay. So just remember that r star can be written as r star r also. No problem. Then we have one more identity, which is r star is equal to a star. It is going to result in this expression, something like when you do the concatenation of two closures, okay, the result is going to be r star only. Okay, so then the next one is r star whole star will be r star only, right? Then I think you can see here this one has already repeated. No need to consider this. Then you please take it out this one. So PQ whole star into P is equal to P into QP whole star. This is a one more formula. And this is going to be a very, very important formula. So please have a look at this. So A plus B whole star can be equal to A star B star whole star, or it can be equal to A star plus B star whole star, or it can be equal to A plus B whole star, or it can be equal to A star of B A star whole star. Okay, so this is a very important formula. And then you can see here anything you add to 5, please try to understand, anything you add to 5, it will result in anything. It will be something like anything you add to 0, it will result in anything itself. Okay, like that. Okay, please try to remember this. So this is next one. Then the next one is r into epsilon is equal to epsilon into r. It will result in r itself. How it will be? It will be something like 1 into x is equal to x into 1 is equal to, what is the result? It will be x only. Likewise, so r into epsilon. So the thing which I want to tell you is anything you multiply with the epsilon, it will result in anything. Okay, anything you multiply it with the epsilon, it will result in anything. In the same manner, anything you multiply with the 5 means already I told you empty. 5 means empty. So anything you multiply with the 5, it will result in 5 only. It will result in 5 only. In the same manner, r plus r will be r only. So you know, like already you might have learned all these things in your DLD also. And this is the distributive law, something like L into m plus n. It will be equivalent to Lm plus Ln, where you are going to do the multiplication. Then the next one is m plus n into L. So this is the left distributive law and this is the right distributive law. So it will be ml plus nl. Okay, ml plus nl. So this is a one more formula where you are going to have a distributive rule. And this is going to be very, very important. What is that? Epsilon plus r star is equal to epsilon plus r star r is equal to r star. I will tell you about this, how I am going to get this. Okay, so let me take one simple example. So for this, in order to explain this formula, let me take one simple example. Let r is going to be a. Let r is going to be a. Okay, so this is my regular expression. I already told you 5 can be a regular expression. Okay, or it can be something like a can be a regular expression, epsilon can be a regular expression, or a plus b can be a regular expression, b plus a can be a regular expression, or ab can be a regular expression. Okay, so for simplicity what I am doing, I am taking a as a regular expression. This is r. Then when I do r star, when I do r star, so what is the first symbol I am going to get over here? Just have a look at this. So what might be r star going to be? So r star, in the sense, it will be a power star. What is this a star will be? A star is going to be 0 or more occurrences of a. So when I write a 0 or more occurrences, in the sense, the first occurrence will be epsilon. Why epsilon? Because a power 0, then a power 1, then a square, then a cube, then a power 4, and so on and so on. Okay, so this is what we are going to get for a r star, which is nothing but a star. Now what we have to do now? We need to find out r star. Now please have a look at this r star. So what is r? Already we know r is a. R star, in the sense, already we have this r star. Already we have this r star. Okay. Now when you do the concatenation, just have a look at this. A is multiplied with the epsilon. A is multiplied with the epsilon. When you do the A multiplied with epsilon, just now I told you, anything you multiply with the epsilon, it will result in anything. So hence you will get A. Then A is multiplied with the A. What is the answer? You will get A square. You will get A square. Then A multiplied with A square, A cube. Then A power 4. Then A power 5. So and so on. So if you look at this, as a result of this r plus r star operation, so what has been got eliminated? So the thing which has been got eliminated is epsilon got eliminated. Epsilon got eliminated. Okay, then the next thing what we need to do now, so far we have finished for r star. Then we need to add epsilon. Then we need to add epsilon, means union. Okay, so let's do that. So this is epsilon plus r star is equal to epsilon plus, now we need to write this thing, this entire thing. Okay, because this is the result of r star. Now what is this? Now please observe. Now what is this language consisting of? Like a least string. The least string which the language is consisting of is epsilon, then a square, a cube, a power 4, a power 5. Have you seen this already? Where we have seen this epsilon, a square? So see here. So this is the place where we are seeing that one. What is that? Epsilon plus, a square plus, a cube plus, a power 4. What is that expression? Which is nothing but r star. Which is nothing but r star. Okay, so like this, what you have to do, so you need to prove that maximum you are not going to get any proofs, something like when I gave some expression like like this, like something like epsilon plus r star. Now please find out like what might be the right hand side part. They don't give like that. Suppose think that if they ask you such type of questions, now please follow this procedure, something like whatever the procedure which I followed just now in order to demonstrate you. So please follow this procedure so that you will get the correct answer for that. Okay, so like this, what we are going to get, epsilon plus r star or epsilon plus r star r, it will result in r star only. Okay, so this is what the proof we have. Okay, so I am showing proof only for one example. The same proof is applicable for all the other expressions or all the other identities. For all these identities also, you can apply the same way. So this is the way which you can follow for all the above identities. Okay, now, so with that knowledge, so let's go ahead and we try to solve some simple regular expressions. Okay, so please have a look at this. So this is our first problem. Now we need to solve this. Okay, so what is the expression has been given? So it has been given that R is equal to epsilon plus 1 star 0 1 1 whole star into 1 star 0 1 1 whole star into whole star. Okay, so please don't panic by looking at the regular expression itself, because solving these regular expressions are very easy. Okay, don't look at the complexity or length, or don't panic with the number of stars what we have. So just if you remember all these formulas or identity rules, if you're not formulas, identity rules, if you remember all these identity rules, so it becomes very easy for you to solve this. Okay, now please have a look at this. So when we have something like epsilon plus, now if you look into this, all these identity rules, do we have any identity rule which has been getting added with epsilon? You can see here epsilon plus r star, or epsilon plus r star r, whatever it may be. Now please check that whether it is there in that form or not. Now you can see here we have epsilon plus. Now can I take this entire thing like r? Please observe, can I take something like this 1 star into 0 1 1 whole star? Can I take it like r? If I take this like r, then automatically what might be the r star is going to be? R star is going to be 1 star into 0 1 1 whole star of whole star. Now you can see here on the right hand side, do we have the same thing over here or not? You can see here, this is the part. What is that part? 1 star 0 1 1 whole star. This is going to be r, and when we have whole star, in the sense it will be r star. So now what I'm going to do is, so here I'm going to write, so epsilon, sorry, as it is available in the form of, what is the form? So epsilon, okay, so I will write in the bottom. Okay, so here it is available in the form of something like epsilon plus r star. So the answer will be r star only. What is r? 1 star into 0 1 1 whole star whole star. So this is going to be r star. Okay, so why we come to this conclusion? So for the reason for coming to this conclusion is because of this formula. What is that? Epsilon plus r star is equal to r star. Epsilon plus r star is equal to r star. Just because of this only we come to the conclusion that it is the answer of this one. Okay, so this one is the parenthesis. You can see here. So this is r, 1 star into 0 1 1 whole star whole star. Okay, so this is how we are having this formula. Okay, now the solution for this is what the solution is. This is the solution. See, such a simple answer, right? Then the second one, have a look at this. Now we need to prove that. So it will be something like proving LHS is equal to RHS. So what is that? So they have given something like this, some complicated regular expression. What we have to do is we need to prove that this is equivalent to this part. So how we need to do that? So first take the LHS part. So what is this LHS part? So this is the LHS part. Okay. So let's take this LHS part. So now I'm going to take this LHS. Now once I take this LHS, now please check, is there whenever you are solving with the any expressions kind of thing, always we have been searching for something like any common thing kind of thing, right? So please have a look at this. Do we have anything common over here? So this is one expression, this is one complete expression, and this is a one more expression. Now do you find anything common in these two expressions, this one and this one? Now please observe, when you closely observe, we have something common over here. What is that? 1 plus 0 0 star 1. You can see here 1 plus 0 0 star 1. Now can I take this as common now? Now that's the reason why what I am doing, I am going to take that as common. Okay, so take this as common. So Control C, Control V, and then please observe, Once you take this as common, so here something actually as per our mathematics knowledge what we are going to put, so here we are going to put 1, here we are going to put 1, but please remember that don't commit such type of mistake, because here in regular expressions this 1 belongs to what? Symbol belongs to input alphabet, where the meaning is going to change completely. So that is the reason why you should not use 1. So now what we have to do, we need to make use of empty string, which is nothing but epsilon. So just now I told you anything multiplied by epsilon or so it will result in anything. That is, so now when you multiply 1 plus 0 0 0 0 star 1 with epsilon, it will result in same answer. Okay, so first that's the reason why I am going to use epsilon over here. Then when you do take the common of this one, automatically the part which will result in this is the part which will remain. Okay, so it will remain. Understood? So this is going to remain. Okay, now if you observe thoroughly, so this part has been taken off. Now if you observe thoroughly this part, now do you feel anything we can simplify over here? You can see here this is our epsilon plus r star form, r star r, whatever it may be. You can see here, so here we have star and here we have r. So what is our r? 0 plus 1 0 star 1, this is our r. Now you can see here 0 plus 1 0 star 1 whole star. Now is it available in the form of what? Now I am copying this. So as it is available in the form of not r star, it is available in r star r. Now this is the formula which we are going to use. Now it is available in the form of epsilon plus r star r, which is going to result in r star. So finally, now what I am going to write? So 1 plus 0 0 star 1 into, when you do the simplification, what is r now? 0 plus 1 0 star 1 and whole star. Okay, so this is how we are going to simplify the regular expressions. Okay, now please try to understand. So the entire simplification process of the regular expressions depends on all these identity rules. So these are the identity rules, so which are very much required, okay, for solving all these regular expressions. Understood? So that's all we have related to the identities. So that's not a very important topic, but even though it is required for us in our next subsequent topics, so whatever the next topics which we are going to discuss, there we have some importance related to those identities. So that's the reason why we have been discussing about all these topics. Okay, so from this you need to understand that, so these are the formulas which we are going to use regularly, something like epsilon into r, this one, and this is the formula, next formula, and sometimes we are going to do the multiplication also, and sometimes we will get epsilon closure also. Okay, so these are the formulas which we are going to use. Okay, so with this we have finished the part of identity rules. Okay, now we are entering into the one of the very important part, which is nothing but DFA to regular expressions. So I already told you in a very long back with the help of some diagram also. I don't know whether you are able to remember it or not. Now I think I have drawn 4 circles. Okay, 1 2 sorry, 1 2 3 and 4. We have drawn 4 circles, and where each and every circle we have written something like this. What is this circle refers to? It is going to be NFA with epsilon. This is NFA epsilon. Okay, then we have here, NFA, and then we have DFA. So this one is going to be DFA. Okay, this is going to be DFA, and this is going to be your regular expression, and this is going to be your regular expression. We already discussed that if we have NFA with epsilon, we can construct NFA from NFA epsilon, and not only that, we can also construct DFA also. We already finished this part. And at the same time, if you have a NFA, then we can easily construct the DFA also. So all these parts has been we already finished. Okay. And now very recently with our previous classes knowledge, what I can tell you is, so if you have been given with the language, for example, if you have been given with the language, something like this, if you have a language in the sense, so now we have seen that, so how we can convert a language can be automatically converted into a DFA also. We have already seen something like 0 followed by 1, or starts with 0, ends with 1, and even number of A's, even number of B's, number divisible by 3. For such type of languages, we have constructed the DFA. So for the same language, we also constructed the regular expression also. Okay, but the thing which we are going to discuss right now is, for example, let us observe that we have a DFA available. We have DFA available. What did you mean by that? It means that for the given language, please try to understand, for the given language, we have already finished drawing of the DFA. Drawing of the DFA means non-deterministic finite automata. Now what I want to do is, so from this DFA, so what I want to do is I want to construct the regular expression. So for that, what I am doing is, so once I have drawn the DFA, from that DFA, it is very easy for us to construct the regular expression. Okay. Now please try to understand that. So if you have a language, please try to understand, if you have a language, you can directly construct the regular expression. It is also possible. But so why we are drawing DFA and then going for drawing RE, please? RE means, the reason for that is, so sometimes we are going to get the language which is going to be a complex language. So in such cases, it is not possible for us to directly write the regular expression. So let me show you one small example which we have already done. You can see here in our previous classes, you can see here, yesterday itself we have written regular expressions. Please see here. So these are the various languages. You can see here, this is a language, this is one more language. So totally we are having around 8 languages. For 8 languages, what we have done, we have directly written the regular expression. So how could we are able to write the regular expressions directly means, so if your language is simple enough, which is easy to understand, then we can directly write the regular expression. What we can do, we can, from the given language, we can directly write the regular expression. But let us assume that we have a language which is going to be very complex language. In such cases, so it is not possible for us to write the regular expression directly. So now in such cases, we need to go for depending on an indirect way. That indirect way is nothing but, so which is a two-step process. So this is a one-step process. You can see here, so constructing a regular expression from a given language, it is a one-step process. When you are able to understand the language, when you feel that language is simple, now you can do that. But the second process is a two-step process. This is a two-step process. The first step is construct the DFA, and the second step is from DFA construct the regular expression. So already we have seen how to construct the DFAs once some language has been given for us. Now the second part which we are going to see is, if I give a DFA to you, so how do you construct the regular expression for that? Okay. Now for that, we have multiple methods are available. Now out of those, the first method which I am going to discuss here is the Arden's theorem. Okay, Arden's theorem. So this is the first method, which is going to be very simple method. The only thing which you have to remember here is, please try to remember that. So the Arden's theorem mainly works on a substitution. So we are going to get one expression, and that expression we are going to substitute in another expression. Like that we are going to solve. Okay, so this Arden's theorem is going to be purely substitution based. And then the second method which I am going to cover in tomorrow's class is the state elimination method, which is a very, very important method, and it is also going to be helpful for you in your software testing also. Okay, so state elimination method. And we have one more method. It is something like tabular related kind of method. So these are the three different methods that we are going to follow, so for converting the given DFA into the regular expression. Okay, is it clear? Hello? Hello? Okay, is it clear? If that is the case, now what we'll do, we will look into the Arden's theorem. Please don't worry about like something like theorems and all these proofs and all these things. So you are really fortunate enough that you don't have any proofs. You don't have any proofs. Okay. So now what we do, please have a look at this. So what this Arden's theorem is saying. Okay. Please try to understand what this Arden's theorem is saying. So it says that let we have two regular expressions P and Q. Okay, so let P and Q be two regular expressions over some alphabet sigma. Okay, and one more thing, please remember that. So P should not contain epsilon. P should not contain epsilon. So then the following equation in R, namely, please try to understand. So using this P and Q regular expression, you have constructed a new regular expression called R is equal to Q plus RP. Okay, so using these two regular expressions P and Q, now you have constructed a new regular expression called R is equal to Q plus RP. Now, once you have constructed some regular expression called R is equal to Q plus RP, then it is going to have a unique solution. What is that solution? Which is nothing but R is equal to QP star. Okay, so out of this entire theorem, the only thing which I ask you to remember is only this part. What is that? R is equal to Q plus RP. Now, whatever the expressions which we are going to get, now we need to convert them into the form something like R is equal to Q plus RP form. Once our expression is available in this form, then the solution for that expression is equal to R is equal to QP star. R is equal to QP star. Okay. Now, if you want to make use of this Arden's theorem, then we need to have two assumptions. So please look at this. So two assumptions. Now, what are those two assumptions are? The first one is whatever the DFA you are going to work with, so it should not have any epsilon moves. Okay. So no epsilon moves are allowed in your DFA. That is the first assumption. And the second assumption is there exists only one initial state. So you can see here. So basically for any DFA, so these two will not come into picture. What are those things? So far we have worked with the different types of DFAs. So nowhere we have found the epsilon move. The only place where we found the epsilon move is a NFA epsilon only. Okay. So no need to worry about this. Just remember this part. What is that? R is equal to Q plus RP. That is a way, that is a form in which we need to convert our expression. Once we do that, then automatically we can find the solution for this expression will be R is equal to QP star. Now, with that knowledge, so I'm not spending much time on this because once you able to understand the how to solve the problem, automatically you will understand the theorem also. Okay. Now, this is our DFA. Okay. This is our DFA. For this DFA, now we'll try to give the solution. Okay, we try to give the solution. Understood? Now, total how many states are there? Please have a look at this. How many states are there? Q1, Q2 and Q3. So what is the initial state? Q1 is the initial state. Okay, Q1 is the initial state. So now when you have the Q1 like initial state, wait a second, Q1 is the initial state. Okay, then Q2 is the next state. Next, Q3 is the third state. Okay, now what we have to do is, now we need to look into, we need to consider all those transitions. Please have listen carefully. So while solving the theorem, I mean while solving the problem using the Adams theorem, please remember that we need to concentrate on all those incoming edges coming onto the given node or given state. Now I am considering state Q1. Please try have a look at this. Now I'm considering state Q1. Now this is the state Q1. May I know what are the edges which are coming onto Q1? So for this Q1, we have an edge by the name called A. By the name called A means we have an edge from Q1 to Q1 itself. So now how we have this transition from Q1 to Q1? Because of the input symbol called A. So that is the reason why that transition, what is that transition? Q1 into A. We need to write Q1 into A. Okay. So please try to understand why I'm writing Q1 into A in the sense. So for this Q1 state, we need to consider all the incoming transitions onto a given state. Now I have considered, now I'm working with the Q1 state. Now I need to look into what are the various transitions, incoming transitions of Q1. So I have two incoming transitions. What are those? One is A from Q1, one is B from Q2. Yes or no? So and from Q1 to Q1, I have this transition because of input symbol A. From Q2 to Q1, I have a transition because of input symbol B. So now the next thing which comes over here is Q2 into B. Q2 into B. Now have a look at this. So all the incoming transitions has been finished for Q1 or not? Okay. Now the very important thing, the next thing which you need to remember is, as Q1 is the initial state, please have a look at this. Please remember this. So if Q1 is the initial state, you need to remember that one extra symbol comes into picture, which is nothing but epsilon, which is nothing but epsilon. So now I am going to call it like equation 1. So I am calling it like equation 1. This is our first expression or equation, whatever it may be. Okay. Then now we need to write for Q2. We need to write for Q2. So this is our Q2. Just have a look at this Q2. Do we have any incoming edges onto this Q2? What are the incoming edges we have? Totally, we have 3 incoming edges. What are those? Q1 on A, it goes to Q2. Then Q2 on B, it goes to Q2. Then Q3 on A, it goes to Q2. So now we need to write that one. What are those? Q1 on A, Q1 on A, it goes to Q2. Okay. Then Q2 on B, it goes to Q2. Then the third one, Q3 on A, it goes to Q2. Okay. So please, this is very important. If you make anything wrong while taking these transitions, then automatically whatever the regular expression you are going to get, it is also going to become wrong. Okay. Then last one, Q3. Can someone help me out in this? Yes.
Q2 on A.
Q2 on A. Very good. Q2 on A. Very good. Q2 on A will be for Q3. Apart from that, do we have anything for Q3? No. So that's the reason. So I am going to take this like a third expression. Okay. Now what we have to do is, as we need to find out the regular expression over here, please remember that. So what is the final state over here? Have a look at this. What is the final state? The final state is Q3. Please try to understand. The final state is Q3. Means now the answer for which we need to find out is, this is what we need to find the answer for. We need to find the answer for. Now when I want to find out the answer for Q3, yes, this Q3 is having what we have Q2. In Q3 what we have? Q2. In the sense, so somewhere somehow we need to replace this Q2 with some expression so that we can get the answer for Q3. Now what we have to do is we need to go for doing the substitutions. We need to go for doing the substitutions. So once we do the substitutions, there is a possibility that now we will get some answer for this. Now what I am doing now, please try to understand. Now I am going to substitute 3. Now I am going to substitute 3 in 2. Please try to understand. Now I am going to substitute 3 in 2. Okay, so once I substitute 3 in 2, then I will get Q2. So what is this 3 in 2? So 2 is nothing but our Q2 expression, right? So Q2 is equal to Q1 into A plus Q2 into B plus Q2 into B plus, then what about this Q3 into A? What is Q3? Q3 is nothing but Q2 into A. So in the place of Q3, now we need to write Q2 into A. Okay, so this is going to be Q3. Q3 is nothing but Q2 into A, and already for Q2 we have A available, so we are going to write A. Okay, so finally this expression will be something like Q1 A plus Q2 B plus Q2 AA. Okay, now if you look at this thoroughly, there is something which we can take common over here. What is that thing we can take common? We can take Q2 common over here. Once you take Q2 common, then we will get Q1 into A plus, if you take Q2 common, what is the thing we will get? B plus AA, or AA plus B. As it is a union operation, we can write anything. Okay, so finally what we got, Q2 is equal to Q2 into B plus AA into R plus Q1 into A. Now this is going to be my fourth expression. Now please observe, I already told you that what our Arden's theorem says that, so you need to convert your expression something like R is equal to Q plus RP form. Once you have this R is equal to Q plus RP form, then the solution will be R is equal to QP star. That is going to be the solution. Now please have a look at this. Did we have converted our Q2 into R is equal to QP star form or not? Please have a look at this. Q plus RP star. So what is R here? Please, for the first one I will write. So what is R is here? So this is going to be R. Okay, so now I am going to say that this is going to be your R. R is equal to, so now RP. Now what is this? This is going to be RP. So now this will be something like RP plus, what is your Q? Your Q is going to be this entire one. So R is equal to Q. R Q plus RP, whatever it may be. As it is a union operation, no need to worry whether it is RP plus Q or Q plus RP, whatever it may be. Now here I am going to write where R will be Q2. As this is the first problem, I am going to write everything over here. R is equal to Q2. Then what about Q? Q will be Q1 into A. Okay, then R is equal to Q plus RP. What about P? P will be B plus AA. Now you can see here. So we got R and we got Q and we got P also. Now what is our solution? What about our solution now? So it will be R is equal to QP star, which is Q2 is equal to QP star. What is Q? Q1 into A, Q1 into A, and P is, what is P? B plus AA whole star. Q plus AA, B plus AA whole star. So this is going to be our fifth expression. Now you please observe over here. Now if I want to find out the answer for this Q3, in the sense, first I need to know what is Q2. For getting this Q2, now what I did so many things. Once I did that, so again in Q2 also, what I am getting? I am getting Q1. Now what I want to do is it possible for me that I can substitute this value of Q2 in Q1 so that I can get the value of Q1? You can see here, yes, inside this Q2, now what I will do, I am going to substitute this equation 5. Okay, now what I do, now substitute equation or 5 in 1. Substitute 5 in 1. So what is this 1 is? Now I will try to copy this entire one. Just give me 5 minutes of time. Please bear with me. I will finish it off. As this is the first problem, we are going to take some time for this. Okay, right. So now, okay, now I'm going to substitute. This is our Q1. Now in this Q1, I mean first equation, now we need to substitute Q2. What is Q2? This entire thing is our Q2. Okay, so Q2, in the place of Q2, we need to write this one. Okay, now I have substituted. Now you can see here, Q1 is equal to Q1 into A plus Q1 into A, and so on. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to convert this into form like this. R is equal to Q plus RP form. Now please observe, do we take anything common over here? Something like Q1 into A. Can we take any common Q1 into A? Have a look at this. Or if you don't want, you can take only Q1 itself like a common. Okay, so now what I want to do is Q1 into A plus A into B plus AA whole star. Now you can see here, this entire expression, I am going to write something like this. You can see here, Q1 into A, I have taken common, plus A into B plus AA whole star, and here we have B also. We have B also. We need to write B also. Okay, and after that, we should not forget about this epsilon. So Control C, Control V. Okay, now what we need to do, we need to convert this into the form like this. R is equal to Q plus RP form. So once we do that, what is R now? So R will be Q1. R will be Q1. Q will be. So what is this Q will be? So this is RP. This is RP. And Q will be, what is this Q? What we have on the right hand side of a Q here, I mean plus here, epsilon. So here we will get epsilon. Okay, epsilon. And then what about P here? See here, Q plus RP. This is Q, this is Q, this is R. Then what about P? This entire expression is going to become P. This entire expression is going to become P. This is going to be P. Okay. Then what about our solution? R is equal to QP star. Yes or no? What is R? Q1 is equal to QP star. QP means epsilon into concatenated with P star. This is our P. So P star, epsilon into this entire thing whole star. Now we know that anything multiplied with epsilon will be anything only. So that's the reason why when we do the substitution, then finally we got that some expression we got some expression which will not consist of any q1, q2 and so on. Okay, now we got q1. Have a look at this. We got q1. Once we got q1, can we substitute this q1 in 5 so that I can get my expression q2 completely in terms of a's and b's? That's the reason why now what I do, now substitute 6 in 5. Substitute 6 in 5. So once you substitute 6 in 5, now the answer which we are going to get will be q2 is equal to not q1. In the place of q1, what we have to do? This entire thing needs to be placed. So this entire thing needs to be placed. So this is going to be my one more expression called a q1, which is going to be the seventh expression. Now we got q2 also. Now once we got q2, then finally what we have to do now? We need to substitute in this one. Okay, q3 is equal to q2a. q3 is equal to q2a, which is the third equation. Okay, now what we have to do now? So substitute 7 in 3. Substitute 7 in 3. What is q3? This is q3. And what is q2? Already we have found the q2 value. So this is going to be our q2 value. This is going to be our q2 value. So now you can see here. So finally, this is what the regular expression that we are going to get. You can see here q3. This is our regular expression. Okay, so this is going to be the regular expression. Okay, so why I have found out only for q3? You need to understand this one. Please observe. So if I take my regular expression, this regular expression is consisting of only the sequence of a's and b's. Means now we have constructed our DFA on input alphabet A and B. Okay, now if you observe thoroughly, please have a look at this. If you observe thoroughly, the least string which this language accepts is small a into small a. You can cross check. You can cross check whether this small a is accepted by this DFA or not. You can see here on q1 on small a you go to q2, on q2 on small a you go to q3. Now this small a is accepted or not. Okay, this is how you can cross check whatever the regular expression which you have got. So by doing this substitution method. Okay, now why I have found only for q3? The reason, please have a look at this. As we have so many states available like q1, q2, q3 are available, but why I am specifically going for q3 only? The reason for that is because we need to find out the expression only for the accepting state. Accepting state in the sense, so which is nothing but the final state. So suppose think that if I am having multiple accepting states like a q2, q3, q1, in such cases what I have to do, I need to find out for q1, I need to find for q2, I need to find for q3, then I need to do the union of all these three, which is nothing but I need to use plus. Once I use plus, then automatically that result is going to accept, I mean that result gives the result of all these three accepting states. Okay, so please remember this formula. Okay, that's the reason why I told you this formula is very, very important, which is nothing but you need to convert your expression somewhere somehow into the form r is equal to q plus rp, so that we can give the solution something like r is equal to qp star. So here the very important thing is, please try to consider 2 points to be noted down. The first point is we need to consider only the incoming edges for each and every state. And the second point is we are going to add epsilon only for the initial state. That is the second point. And the third point is we are going to find out the regular expression only for the accepting states, which is nothing but final states. Okay, so in our next classes we have some other exercises like this. You can see here. So this is our next exercise. So tomorrow I will tell you so how to solve this using the same Arden's theorem and as well as the state elimination theorem. So in tomorrow's class, what we'll do, we'll discuss one more example related to same Arden's theorem, and we also start our state elimination method also. Okay, so I have taken plenty of graphs over here as exercises. Some of them I will put blank. For some of the whatever the solutions I will give, I will fill it over here only. As soon as we complete our unit, so I am going to forward this Word document to your mails. Okay, so if you have a look at this solution, the only thing what we are doing is we need to apply your common sense, and at the same time we need to know only about the substitution. And one more thing we have to know is which is nothing but we need to get the expression in the form of R is equal to Q plus RP. Okay, that's it. If you know about this thing, automatically you can easily play with so conversion of DFA to a regular expression using the Arden's theorem. Okay, so that's it from my side.